Hello, everybody, and welcome to our SmackDown on Fox premiere edition of, well, the preview show at least, of the IWC radio. Joining me, I'm just glad the intro went off without a hitch, considering what's happening over here. Joining me as always, Chucks and Will. Being still on assignment, he'll be back next week, believe it or not. Hey, there we go. How you guys doing? Whoa!
Oh,
That's how you know we mean business
There you go.
around here.
Yeah, we got some stuff to say this week. Not a lot, but we got some.
Okay. That's I don't know if there's ever been a podcast that's like just started off like we got a lot to say, not a lot, but we got stuff to say. Some stuff.
So we got some stuff. Did
No,
I say
I
a
might
lot of stuff? Did I say a lot of stuff? I thought I said some stuff.
I'm sorry.
That I don't know. I might have said that. We got a lot of stuff to say, not a lot.
That's pretty good.
But I think that's still kind of true. Like, there's some big stuff that we need to talk about. There's, it's a big week in wrestling, but we don't actually know that much.
It's pretty standard for us, isn't it, really, to not have much to say?
Yeah. We've been doing it for how long now? 5-6 years or something. We managed to get away with it. We filled some hours.
How about you, Shrimp?
Reviewing WWE, just filling the hours with content.
I'm doing
Yeah.
stuff
That's good.
in Fortnite at the moment. So if you hear like that, that's what that is. I'm gonna try to move the controller over here, like away, but I'm pretty sure you're still gonna be able to hear it. In fact, I need a new controller. This one's like dying on me. I know. Sorry, we're throwing it old school here for this week.
To be fair, though, at least it's here.
That's true.
Ah,
That is true.
I dig up beans. That's rude.
So what I know the obvious one is SmackDown this week, going to Fox, but there's other things happening, I believe.
In a preview sense, yeah. I don't know if we've got a lot to review, but
No, I think a lot of it's to come, isn't it?
yeah, exactly.
So where do we begin?
Exactly. Guide us.
Come on, Smoot. Come on, host.
Oh God.
You did the introduction.
Yeah.
It's all on you now. You are the main host, whether you like it or not.
Considering, did you guys actually see SmackDown this past week? Because, like, I hated the way it ended.
I missed it, unfortunately.
I did see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
like,
bad.
the go-home, if you will, for the new network was literally just, like, Sasha Banks attacking Becky Lynch during an interview. And that was it.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a bit of a letdown, really. I don't know, they could have just ended with the... I can't remember what the last segment was. Oh, it was Kevin Owens and Shane, wasn't it?
Where Shane was yelling into, like, a dead...
And that was... Well, it was clearly rushed at the end. Because he started playing his music while Shane was still talking. So,
Yeah, it wasn't great, and I was honestly like I was hoping they would have done the whole like moving truck cliche that they used to do whenever they would go to a new network.
Yeah.
Like it was My Moving Co. and then like a production truck for SmackDown and whatnot on Sci-Fi.
they've been doing it on the website, haven't they? I've seen there's some sort of Fox have got some truck going around.
Nobody's gonna look there. It's the website.
Well, exactly, yeah.
People want to avoid that as much as they can. Yeah, I wasn't too big of a fan. I mean, it just seemed like an average SmackDown episode from what I recall.
Yeah, it was pretty much. They did do a little Todd Phillips? Who's Todd Phillips? Tom Phillips? he did a little sort of thank you to
Yeah.
USA Network
I mean,
in the
that's
middle of the
very
show.
cordial, professional, and all that.
And then he got replaced the next day. It's quite funny.
It would have been great if you wished USA Network well in their future endeavors. If you ask me. Michael Cole had a sit-down interview with Kofi Kingston early on in the show and spoke about the title match against Brock Lesnar next week. Isn't it odd that they're not even bringing up Beast in the East? Which is where...
Not really. I mean, that was a different Kofi, and not one that you really want people to remember.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, if they're going back so far to, like, you know, make a mention of, like, Orton and Kofi where, you know, he was tarnishing a race car and doing the boom drop off of, like, you know, some...
But that, I mean, yeah, that is true. But that was at least Kofi getting over on Randy Orton. Whereas if you bring up Beast in the East, he just got completely squashed. And I don't think that does anything to
Isn't that
build
what's going
up
to
this
happen
next
next
one.
week? Only for the title?
Probably, but you don't want to remind people that it's happened before. You kind of, you know.
Well,
in the last, when was Beast in the East? In
2015, early 2016, I think. Yeah, somewhere around there.
Right. Yeah, July 4th, 2015. That's weird. July 4th show from Japan.
Wow. Yeah. Huh.
Anyway, so you don't really want to show that Kofi's made no progress in the last 4 years, even though he's just won the belt at WrestleMania, having made lots of progress. He's actually exactly where he was all that time ago.
I mean, I guess that's fair, yeah. Sorry, that was like a long patch of nothing there. I'm just looking at some other stuff here. The show started off with Eric Rowe and Daniel Bryan, which I'm surprised they gave away on free television, but it ended up with I think, what was it, Roman Reigns coming out and I almost said Seth Harper. Yeah, who's Seth Harper? Luke Harper. I know.
What's wrong with you? What's going on today? We're just mixing names up.
I do want to mention Seth Rollins in a little bit with something he did not too long ago.
The dick pic.
No. There's a pun in there that I'm not even going to touch. Yeah.
I'm glad you wouldn't touch it. What?
Fun. Not too long ago, dick pic, you know, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, not too long. Yeah. I got you. Yeah. I think said there was like, because that's what made me think of it. You said there's like a little something about Seth Rollins I want to talk about. Or something.
Wow.
What else? Chad Gable. Chad Gable defeated.
It's just funny to say it was
Mike Kanellis.
What was the thing you wanted to say about Rollins though?
He deleted his Twitter.
Thing?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. Oh, he did. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good.
Is it?
Well, I mean, his Twitter hasn't been
he's
good
awful
recently.
on Twitter.
He's been a total chill.
He's been awful at tweeting.
Yeah.
Like, he might just be taking a break from it, to be honest with you, to like get some lessons on how to actually not suck at Twitter. But like,
okay, so I've just done a quick Google search for Seth Rollins' Twitter, and it links me to @WWE Rollins, which now says this account doesn't exist. Try searching for another. So does that mean I could sign up as WWE
I mean, if he
Rollins?
has it deactivated, because that's something you can do nowadays on Twitter. If it's deactivated, then
yeah.
No. But if he actually like for real deleted it, then yeah, the handle should be available. I mean, unless
it says it doesn't exist, so it makes me think
in the history of Twitter it does not exist.
Well, yeah, it just doesn't exist anymore.
I think we should try it.
I'm trying to work out how to log out.
There we go.
Just park the show over there.
What's our name? Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Are you doing it now?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This is great
signing
radio.
up for a Twitter account for a tag. That that may they also reserve the right to get rid. If somebody does take it, I think they can just like. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they can
give
give
it
it
back
back.
or whatever.
Yeah. Remember when someone did exactly this to Alex?
Did they
Riley?
really?
Should they really?
Oh
I
my
don't.
god, do you not remember it? This was like, this should have been the most embarrassing thing to WWE in history.
Oh, sorry.
Whoa.
I was Twitter verifying my phone number.
There's Twitter saying, no, you can't
Yeah,
have this.
He's already getting tweets.
Yeah, so Alex Riley was one of the rookies on NXT. So his Twitter handle was like Alex Riley NXT. And then, so that went up on WWE.com on his profile. It was, this is his Twitter. And then when he got called up to the main roster, he changed his name to Alex Riley WWE. So someone signed up again as Alex Riley NXT, which is now the account that's linked from WWE.com, and sent a very graphic
Oh no.
tweet to what's her name, Eve
no.
Torres. Yeah, oh yeah. Which was then as I say, linked from the actual official website that said this is his account. Which then showed up that thanks for last night.
God.
Wow.
If it's still available. There was also, I mean, I think this is kind of what got Joey Styles fired, but like, there was also the most embarrassing like social media story for WWE is when Joey Styles like personally vetted Bobby the Brain and his wife on Twitter, and they turned out to be like imposter accounts. And it didn't really go over that well. And then soon after he lost his job and then made an ass of himself at some indie show, from what I remember. And then then he gave up Twitter as well. Ironically. What did you just link here? Let me see. Where are we? What is this? Oh yeah. Oh, wasn't this? It was Alex NXT or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Which was right.
Oh my god. No, that had to have been him. I feel like that had to have been him.
Well, I mean, maybe he signed up again with a second account. I don't know, but yeah, there you go. I don't know why that wasn't a bigger thing. I guess it was far enough back that because sites were jumping on stupid stuff back then.
I don't think verification was like a thing either with like the check mark.
Not as much. You had to be a fairly big deal to get one. Yeah,
that's crazy. What else happened on the show? Not a whole, like I said, not a whole lot. Sasha Banks and Bayley defeated Charlotte Flair and Carmella, the 24/7 champion Carmella, by the way. After the match was over, all the women scrambled out and then chased Carmella off, and then I think at one point R-Truth was trying to hop on her back.
Yeah. None of the commentators mentioned it, but I thought it was quite funny.
That happened. Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Ali. New Day defeated the B Team, which we haven't seen in a while. Kabuki Warriors defeated Fire and Desire, which that duo looks like they're teasing a split, I think. Because Sonya was like very unhappy, and Otis managed to get a selfie with Mandy before the match. I'll see if I can try to find a picture and throw it up on the stream. That was kind of funny. See, if he did that like constantly, just like do like stuff that fans would do or whatever, I wouldn't mind him instead of trying to be like a second-rate bushwhacker. I feel. Maybe that's just me. And Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon lawyer segment or whatever happened as right after that as well. So that's
what happened with that. So they
eventually they were arguing and whatnot, and it led to a match at Hell in a Cell.
Was it Hell in a Cell or was it SmackDown next week?
I I think it is Hell in a Cell.
Oh, I was just looking at the card for that, and it's not on there.
It's
But
just
that
the
doesn't
ladder
mean
match
it's
again.
not on there.
Are we talking about Shane and?
Yeah, was it
Yeah, it's
ladder match?
Oh, it's on
on
SmackDown.
SmackDown,
Yeah, you're right.
Excuse me.
I'm wrong. You're right. My bad.
Because that sounds like it should be
Yeah.
a pay-per-view match. Unless it plays into the draft that's coming up next week after the pay-per-view. And maybe... Well, how would it? I suppose he could be fired and then just show up at NXT anyway.
Yeah.
You don't have to be drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just an update. We can't have WWE Rollins. It's already taken.
Told you.
We can have WWE Roll 37854116.
What if you just
Catchy.
made the
I
L's
like
into
it.
eyes? Ah.
Oh, that's all sneaky.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
With 3 eyes in the middle. That's like a Kurt
Yeah.
Angle thing.
Yeah, I guess maybe this is like a way. I would assume that maybe Owens is going to win, and then Shane's off of TV, and then we don't really have authority figures on TV as much as it is, and with the draft coming up, you know. Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
great. I'd love that.
New network, new draft, yada yada yada. That's what I'm guessing is what they're thinking is.
It's so annoying though that they would have Shane be a perfectly acceptable authority figure when he was a face.
Yeah.
He came back, everyone loved him. He did a great job. SmackDown was fun. They then turned him heel, and now they think, this guy's getting a bit much. We need to take him off TV. Did you really need to do any of this? Just it was working.
Yeah. Well, and the Saudi Arabia show didn't help matters either when he won the trophy.
Yeah.
He's never really got any sort of comeuppance whatsoever against him.
He really didn't. He just moved on to the Reigns feud. Beat
Yeah.
Reigns as well.
Because he's a McMahon. So.
Yep.
Yeah, they had a shouting argument, and then Shane yelled into a dead mic, and then they cut to the back, and that was that. So, not sure if you have any thoughts, if there's anything you want to add. Will?
No, I think it's a bit of a letdown to considering it was the last show. Could have been a bit more.
Well, as long as the first show is more,
Well, yeah.
that's going to be the important thing. Apparently, they're going back to Pyro. Pyro's back.
According
Yeah,
to some guy, I had his name here. Yeah, Joseph.
Is it
Joseph Stanislavski, I believe. Yeah.
That's
Apparently, he personally talked with Kevin Dunn and confirmed that there's new sets, including Pyro with flames and lasers. So.
Oh, flames and lasers.
Pyro and Ballyhoo, which I almost used as a segue, believe it or not.
Oh, really? Have you got some pins for his own use?
Say SmackDown ended with was much needed Pyro and Ballyhoo, and then we could have used that to segue into that.
I was up quite late last night, really late for some reason, and I came across a tweet from Vince Russo because he was live on Twitch.
Oh God!
Oh yeah, he does that.
No.
So I thought I never normally see him live. So I just thought I'll click it for a laugh, see what's happening. He was talking with 3 other guys. I don't know who they were, but he was talking with 3 other guys about farts.
Yeah, he does a fair amount of fart talking. He does a show on Mondays, because Monday's fun days. That's how he opens every show. Called "Castrating the Marks," and by the Marks, by Marks he doesn't mean the fans. He means Dave Meltzer.
Oh.
And Wade Keller, the writers who think they're in the business, but they're really not. Even though they basically
know more than he does.
Anyway, well, yeah, exactly. They all seem to be right most of the time, And when they're not, it's kind of understandable. And yet they know nothing. They've never taken a bump. Anyway, he has, so they play clips from their podcasts or read their tweets or whatever, and then say how stupid they are for saying this stuff. But every week, or most weeks, there is at least one clip of someone saying something, and then there being like a little squeak in the background.
Yeah, he kept playing fart noises.
Right.
Yeah.
But it'll be Dave just talking about some stuff, and then there's a little, at some point, and they have to talk about, was that a fart or was that just like a squeaky chair?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
I only got 5 minutes of it, but that's exactly what was happening.
That's it. But Vince Russo always thinks it's a fart. His co-host, Jeff Lane?
He kept saying Jeff.
Right, there you go. So he's more reasonable, and quite often says, no, it just sounds like maybe there was like a little something in the throat or whatever. I don't know if that's a fart, but Vince said, no, that's definitely a fart. That's definitely. And how do you fart while you're talking, bro? How do you fart while you're talking?
Yeah, I was
surprised
amazed.
you would focus on something like that, to be honest with you.
It was literally him and 3 guys analysing whether a fart was a fart or not.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
all the more reason
show.
For Dave Meltzer to move on to Twitch and have like a webcam set up just to prove that he doesn't fucking fart while he talks.
How would you prove that? Even with a web, we'd have to have it aimed like at your butt. Right? Like, did he like lean over to one side a little bit?
Oh, God.
I kind of want to make a little squeaky note with my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear that? Yeah. That's definitely
like
my chair
squeaking. For the record.
Oh, good.
Anyway, here's the picture I was talking about with Otis backstage. This was great. You're like, excuse me, can I get a selfie? And he takes one of the magazines that she has, and he's like, "Thank you." So, yeah, when he's doing that, it's funny. But when he's trying to be like a second-rate Scotty 2 Hottie and like bushwhacker and all that, it's like, eh.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
So he's growing on me, all right, as a comedy character. What about what would be the season finale of Raw? Did you watch any of that? Because I did.
I did, but I can't remember any of it.
It's just too long ago.
Monday. Slept since then.
I actually missed quite a bit of it, but then I caught up on stuff that I missed, and I didn't watch the tail end where the Fiend came out and it was attacked. Oh God, no! Oh, it's muted. Never mind. Okay, sorry. Accidentally played a video.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he came out and he was
struggling, and then Rollins was like crying in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Why was Rollins?
Maybe that's why
that was so bad for your top face to be cowering.
Maybe his Twitter that we're trying to take. It was it was not great from the gift I saw. I didn't catch it live because I was playing through Borderlands 3.
Any good?
The gameplay is pretty solid. The story sucks. Well, I wouldn't say sucks, but it's pretty lousy, and you're just like, there's certain elements that you're like, really? That's a thing? Why didn't the character notice that sooner? Something like that. And the story's not that great, but the here, let me move the controller over here. I'm sorry. The gameplay's pretty solid, and I spent like pretty much the entire time just beating the game for like the last 5 hours. They really did kind of pad the gameplay at the end to just like really keep the game going when it could have been ended a lot sooner.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun to play through. I don't regret it. But But yeah, so that was my reason for not watching it live at the time. So, judging from the looks of it, I didn't miss much. Let's see here. Yeah, car going by.
Whoa.
So,
The show started off with a promo with Seth Rollins and then Braun Strowman confronting him. And Rollins just being like, I have a lot on my plate, man. Viking Raiders defeated the OC, surprisingly. Rusev, who's now a U.S. citizen, believe it or not. Not sure if you saw that.
yeah,
He's now here in the States legally. Congrats to him. Defeated EC3. Sasha Banks defeated women's tag team champion Nikki Cross, unsurprisingly there. Lacey Evans defeated Ember Moon, which honestly I wouldn't have minded if Ember got the win there, because she seemed like that was like the match of the night for me from what I saw.
yeah, it was a good match.
Carmella defeated R-Truth, as we mentioned. To become the 24/7 champion. Chad Gable defeated King Corbin via disqualification.
Yeah.
Which that's also surprisingly a good match between those two. I actually don't mind though. Like, Corbin can have some like really good matches from time to time. It's just his character sucks. I feel. It's not like, you know, because he's a heel. It's just like the character is not interesting. You know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio won a fatal 5-way elimination match to challenge Universal Champion Seth Rollins for the season premiere of this coming Monday. And then we had the Fiend stuff at the end of the show there. So, this Monday, on the season premiere of Monday Night Raw, which is going to have, you know, new graphics and whatnot, I would assume that's going to be the main event, is Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio, which I assume Seth Rollins is going to win, because there's no way in hell you're going to make me believe that a fucking Rey Mysterio in 2019 is going to become champion.
Well, not when they're already advertising the pay-per-view.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't seem right to me. But maybe I'm wrong on that. So.
We're getting a new theme song as well.
Yeah, it sounds like something from like AC/DC, but it doesn't sound that great.
It's I had the name of the song here, one sec. Skillet Legendary.
Really?
Skillet?
Yeah. And SmackDown is actually AC/DC.
Oh, that's the, yeah.
Are
that's
you
the
ready?
one, yeah.
Which they must be paying a fortune for AC/DC.
Well, there's also talks of. Well, actually, I think it might have been just a rumor. Now that I think about it, where if AEW has like Wednesday Night Dynamite, they could just, you know, get AC/DC to license the Dynamite song. Which would be interesting to hear AC/DC twice in 1 week, you know? And that's also something that's happening this week, is this Wednesday. Yeah.
Is that this week? Is it? I wasn't sure.
October 2nd. Definitely this week, for sure.
So,
Okay, so Skillet, I'm just sure that they have done something with WWE before.
They have.
Turns out they are a Christian
God.
rock band, and their song "Hero" was used in a video game and Tribute to the Troops, 09.
That's a really long time ago.
And
wasn't they got a track called Monster? Wasn't that used at some point?
oh
yeah,
right,
for
okay,
Daniel Bryan.
yeah, that could be one too. That was quite
Oh yeah,
good.
of course, yeah, that was him.
And there's a video here from 2010 of Skillet talking to WWE.
What a weird name.
Yeah, it's Frying Pan.
like exactly. Why let's just have a band just named Frying Pan.
Why the hell not?
So
And we're also getting new announcers on all shows.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how this is gonna work.
Yeah. I mean, I've never watched 205 Live, but I've no idea who this. What's his name?
Dio something or other.
Dio
Yeah.
Madden.
Dio
That
Madden.
sounds so fake. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is. And he's
Yeah.
a known guy too. He's got a real name. Is it Brandon Williams or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and he's an actual guy who was in the NFL, and like, why would you not? Of all the people whose names to change, like that guy is someone that
Hey,
people
he
might
was in
actually
football,
know.
so let's make his last name Madden. Yeah.
Oh God, that's true. I hadn't even thought of that kind of Madden.
Yeah.
That seems really dumb.
Surprised to bring in King back
Yeah,
as
same
well.
here.
Apparently, that's temporary,
Yeah, I did read it
Quote
temporary.
unquote temporary.
But
which is good because he's great for a couple of weeks, and then I think he's going to start to grate on me again. Got the same jokes over and over.
I think you said it a couple of weeks ago, Chuck. So I'm surprised they've not stuck someone. Okay, they have for now, like the King's there, but someone a bit more experienced with them two on Raw.
Yeah. Well, the first time we heard about those two, it was just them, wasn't it?
Yeah,
They didn't say there was going to be a third. They're like, well, maybe Michael Cole should stay with them or someone. And yeah, I guess that's
And like Jerry Lawler. Yeah, Jerry
wonder
Lawler
who it's
hasn't
gonna
called
be.
the Raw since he got attacked by the Fiend, and then even before that, it's been like years.
Huh.
Or what felt like years, I
Yeah.
should say.
I think it was.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a long time, wasn't it?
It was a little while, yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how he, kind of guides the other two around, if you will, so to speak.
From what I've heard from Vic Joseph, he is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm just not sure on the other guy.
And why would they not use Tom Phillips? Because Tom Phillips actually is very good.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
He's like nowhere now. So SmackDown is going to be the current Raw crew. They're just moving over. Because I guess SmackDown now is officially the A show.
Right.
Yeah, they're not
the A show rather than a show.
Yeah, right. It was just a show, and now it's the A show.
It's kind of weird how the billing Renee Young though. She's saying she's going to be a special contributor, whatever that means.
Yeah, wasn't there like talks of like a studio program, like a post show?
That's been announced. That's already been. That was announced this week. The WWE Backstage starts on the 5th of November on Fox Sports.
Yeah, it basically is.
It is, yeah. And it's going to be Renee and Booker T.
Yeah. And apparently a few randoms as well. They're going to have some guests. Trying out Paige and Rey Mysterio. And
well, there was a bit of a story that CM Punk tried to put up. Apparently he was there this week. We're doing the tryouts or pilots for the show.
Amid all the rumours of AEW.
Be interesting to see if he showed up.
I can't imagine.
Well, the story is that he's going to be working for Fox, isn't it, and not WWE. So
yeah, that would be. Oh yeah, because of the MMA stuff, right? Damn. Yeah, that would be weird.
But then you'd have to think at some point, I don't know, obviously it's early days, but you'd think maybe like the WrestleMania or the bigger shows that this backstage show is going to be at one of the events.
Yeah.
And what happens then?
Awkward.
Okay,
Well, that's interesting.
There's a clip on Twitter of Renee and Booker sort of previewing the show. The set looks quite. I'll try and get you a link to it. The set looks quite nice actually.
Please do get me a link of that. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
There we go. How the hell do you...
For some reason, I still think he's going to AEW.
Think so?
Well,
It makes sense, but...
yeah, it just does. I guess it depends what he wants to do. If he ever wants to wrestle again, then that has to be the place.
Yeah.
But if he wants to do commentary or whatever, and something a bit different, I'm sure he'd be great at it.
Then again, wasn't the guy who he sued, the doctor, in AEW?
Yeah.
Now?
Oh, was he?
I'm sure he is. What was his name? Dr. Rahman or something?
A man? Yeah. I thought he was going to be a WWE lifer.
He, someone spotted him at the last AEW show.
Huh.
So, I'm guessing if he's there, then
Yeah.
he might not.
I'm seeing the clip. Okay.
Chris Aman is still listed here on it's on the Wikipedia page of WWE's personnel, but that could
I'm
just
pretty
be
sure
old.
it was you, Chuck. You pointed them out on the last AEW show.
I don't think I don't know what he looks like.
Oh, yeah, sorry, not
Sounds
you.
like a
sorry,
Smoot
Smoot.
thing.
Yeah,
Wait, what
so
I
he
do?
probably would have.
You pointed out Dr.
Oh.
Rahman at the
Oh, Doc
last
Samson.
AEW show. Or was it
Yeah.
him?
Doc
Or am I
Samson?
getting mixed up? He was the
Yeah,
one who
Doc
saved
Samson, yeah.
King, wasn't it?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Sorry, that's my fault. I'm
Yeah.
getting mixed up.
Yeah, he even retweeted it. I was like, oh, guess it's no.
Did he?
There you go. So yeah, because he was the one that treated that gash above Jericho's eye after that championship match.
That's right, yeah.
So
Yeah, Dr. Rahman's still WWE. His Twitter is WWE Dr. Man.
Yeah, I was just looking at that now.
yeah, you'd think he would be a lifer. Yeah, you're right. But I don't know why they would get rid of him. I think I brought that up, yeah, not too long ago. Also, Tom Phillips, by the way, is supposedly going to be in a more producing role of some sort, so take that for what it's worth. I mean, maybe he's going to be like directing from or producing from Gorilla, I guess. I don't know. Because like Cole made that one tweet before like a WrestleMania about how there's only been like 4 people to ever like produce a show from Gorilla, and Tom Phillips was one of them.
Mm.
And yeah, maybe it's just that. I don't know.
How long's Cole been on Raw now? That must be a while.
Yeah,
I know.
Cole's been there forever.
Yeah. I mean, he was mainly SmackDown, wasn't he, for quite a long time,
and then he switched with JR when JR had that freak out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Broadcast is there. There's a list of who had it. Because that would have been in about 8 or something, wouldn't it? Somewhere around there.
I think it might be even earlier than that, but...
Yeah, maybe.
Because there was that draft, wasn't there, where JR was switched and he didn't know nothing about it.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, commentators. So there's Vince McMahon for ages. JR and Jerry Lawler. Classic. Michael Cole, Jim Ross, so that's 97 to 98, yeah. Michael Cole. Jerry Lawler from 2012. June 30, 08. God, the Wikipedia page for this is an absolute nightmare. It's got every individual announce team listed separately, not just by date. Oh, it sucks.
Yeah, well, Cole, didn't he cover for JR when he first went ill?
Like, way back, yeah.
Way back in the day, yeah.
Back in, like, the late 90s.
Yeah, because there's a clip of when they were doing that Raw 25 stuff. There's a clip of, I can't remember what a big moment it was, but...
So apparently Cole it looks like his earliest one was December 8th, 97. And then he was there through, so it's July 98. And then a little bit in 01. God. Yeah.
Then he went to SmackDown for quite a while, wasn't he, with Taz and JBL? And...
Okay, so easier just to look at Michael Cole's career. So he was on SmackDown from 99 to 08, Raw 08 to 09. God, feud with Jerry Lawler. In the coal mine. And now I guess he's going to go back to SmackDown.
Yeah. When I first started watching, I think I was watching Livewire on Sky One Saturday morning, and he was doing that.
Livewire and Metal or Jacked?
Jacked, yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't Metal like a sort of before like a dark show, like a main event kind of show?
I think it was a bit different. Yeah, there might have been some like highlights, Raw highlights or something in it.
So there's a clip around somewhere of AJ Styles on the Metal.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan did one too.
Yeah. That's the point, actually. It's all this new stuff starting to go on the premiere week next week. So you got obviously the Raw premiere. They've switched Total Divas from the Wednesday to the Tuesday. So that's debut on the Tuesday. Then you got NXT on the Wednesday. Nothing on the Thursday. You have a day off then. And obviously SmackDown on Friday. There's no mention of 205 Live.
Yeah, I've heard that it might just go.
Is it done?
Or might not be. Last I heard, even they didn't know.
Obviously, it can't be on a Tuesday anymore. See the network schedule. See what's on there.
Presumably, they would have to film it on Tuesday, or at least tape it then.
Well, unless they decide to do it on Monday. Because there's no actual event on the Tuesday anymore, is there?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the taping is going to be, like, changed up as well. I forgot about that.
Are the Cruiserweights still exclusive to Raw like they used to be?
I'm gonna go with no on that. But yeah, that's we still don't know what they're doing with the Cruiserweights. That's a good point. I would assume maybe it's I'm assuming it's going to be just like a done thing, and they're just going to absorb the talent and put them elsewhere.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
So, yeah.
The new network site.
Yeah, I told you this.
I'm trying to see the schedule, and it's just showing me what's on today.
Yeah.
I don't know what's on today.
All right,
Yeah,
should we
get out of here?
Should we look ahead?
Oh.
No, I was just going to say we got just a quick preview of the war.
Oh yeah.
The upcoming war.
Oh, sorry, I've got news on that. Go on, carry on.
Oh no, what were you going to say?
Well, I don't know if you've heard the UK news.
It's not on TV.
It is at a ridiculous hour.
Oh, have they actually come up with a deal?
Yeah, ITV announced on yesterday, or maybe even early on today, I'm not sure. They'll be showing it 4 days after it's on. Huh. So you're talking this Sunday morning at 8 a.m.
That's the first airing?
I said a.m.
That is ridiculous.
And there'll be an hour highlight show on a Monday night at 11:30.
That's bad. Cause,
yeah.
So I'd heard that they hadn't come up with a deal. There was something about having to pay per episode that was thrown around, and that between something about having it on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning, and it being on a TV 14, the first airing in the US, they would have to cut some stuff out. Also, there's rules over here on ITV that it would be on about the amount of time you can have per ad break. It has to be, I think it's a maximum of 12 minutes per hour. Whereas in the US, it's more like 16 or something like that. So they would have to fill some time there and fill some time if they ever have to cut anything out. So the show would be totally messed up if we could even get it at all. And now it sounds like we're not even getting
it
until the Sunday.
Wow, that's
weird.
Yeah. I've just linked to the announcement if you can throw that up.
On the stream,
I tweeted it out on
that's really terrible. I'm kind of with Chuck's on this. As an American, that sounds terrible.
That sucks. Yeah.
But when you add that to the fact we don't get NXT live now, we're not part of the new Wednesday Night Wars.
Yeah.
Which is a bit shit, really.
They have to sort something out pretty quickly, I think.
Especially when you consider, it may have been okay years ago, but when you consider...
You absolute bottle jobs.
You absolute bottle jobs.
What is a bottle job?
To bottle something is to kind of fail when the pressure's on.
That's kind of clever.
Basically, it's usually like a sports term where you need to do something, but you've bottled it.
Yeah, so one guy said this. Sky did the same with Raw back in the day.
Early on, it took until 2004, I think it was, for them to go live with Raw.
But then you didn't have social media back in the day, so people are going to know exactly what's happened minutes after it's happened on the live show.
Absolute bottle job. That's a great insult. I just don't get how you...
Yeah, everyone hates it. Like, this guy, 4-day delay, lol, enjoy everyone pirating it and not tuning in, terrible decision. It's like, that's exactly it. I'm just going to find a stream. Like, this is a stupid thing to do, because what are you making? You're forcing us to get it another way.
Exactly.
Just put it on. Whatever you've got to do, just do it. It's your TV show. And putting it on live would mean putting it on at 1, 2 a.m., something like that?
Yeah.
It's not like you've got anything else that's important that you can't kick off.
Apparently, Tony Khan himself has replied to that tweet.
Oh, God.
But I can't
Which
find
one? The bottle jobs one, or the enjoy people pirating it?
No, the actual ITV tweet.
Oh, right.
But I can't seem to find anything. Don't know where it is.
I'm trying to find it.
There we go.
Oh,
Search Tony Khan's own thing here.
Yeah.
Spotted my buddy JR.
Just tweeted a lot of Fulham pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Like,
there we go. AEW Dynamite will stream live in the UK on Fight TV for $4.99 a month.
Right, there you go.
We can't broadcast live free to air in the UK due to different ad schedules in the US. ITV and ITV4 will show free to air. That just makes it sound like
you're a terrible negotiator. Like, honest to God.
Well, so there are rules about that. But that just means that you have to have something that isn't an advert ready to fill that spot.
Sky get away with it, so.
Well, Sky's not free to air.
Of course.
There's a different rule. So Sky just plays more ads. But when Sky would do SmackDown the next day on Sky One or whatever replay, they would put in a From the Vault match just to fill time, or that little rap that Cena would do every week. he bleeds blue and white to SmackDown team.
Yeah.
Same one that I'm sure you remember as well. Never seen a demeanor. There's nobody cleaner. John Cena. So you would just have to have something ready live. Just hit that button. This isn't an advert. This is a promo for our live tour or a highlight package of something to fill a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe TV doesn't work like that. I don't know, but it just seems like that is something you should be able to work around. Surely.
I mean, the stream deal there is actually not too bad. $4.99 a month for every live show.
Yeah,
Or
right.
$2.99 an episode.
Just download it the next day or find a live stream.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you committed, then that's not too bad. But as you say, it's getting people to, especially with a new company like this, it's getting people to do that. I don't know. I think it's got to be even that 8 in the morning show is just ridiculous. Then again, you might get a lot of the kids watching. Maybe that's what they're going for.
Why is my...
Oh, okay. So this is kind of funny. There's Will Cooling, who I think works for The Observer, or used to. He's kind of like a UK correspondent. He first says, how does Sky get around this? Well, that's because it's not free to air. He then shows something from... Is this Ofcom? Yeah, from the Ofcom website, who actually runs this stuff. And it says the following programs are exempt from Rule 16, which is about the number of minutes per hour or per show that you can run ads. Following programs are exempt: live events. These may take more breaks than are indicated, provided that, 1, the timing of the event and its constituent parts are outside the control of the program provider, and there will be not sufficient time within the number of permitted breaks, natural breaks, blah, blah. So it says, like, if it's out of your control, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Live program feeds from an overseas broadcaster. These may take the break pattern of the originating broadcaster. Broadcaster retransmitting the feed from the UK remains responsible for ensuring compliance with other relevant parts of this code. So it's fine.
Yeah.
What's the problem? ITV just don't know
like
what they're doing.
Like, if you needed to, let's say if you did need to, like, add or like show an ad during the show or whatever, like, can't they just like do like a split screen of their own for the UK audience, like the way that SmackDown does it, but still have, like, you know, like just the footage playing somewhat on the like a smaller square? Surely that's like a, you know, a way of doing it rather than just like, hey, the show's on a 4-day delay. Post watershed production.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just sounds like either Tony Khan or ITV just doesn't know what the hell they're doing when it comes to, like, negotiating, like, a way for people to watch a program live.
Yeah. It's obviously the first major live show, wrestling show they've had. But yeah, there's no excuse for that, really. That's just a silly time.
Also, I tried control effing, like, ITV or ITV Wrestling and on Tony Khan's feed, and, like, Chrome was like, nope, there's nothing there. I'm like, really?
Well, even slightly off topic, but even the BBC, they show the Super Bowl live.
Yeah.
And when there's an ad break, they just cut back to the studio, and obviously that's a bigger event than a wrestling show, but it can be done. There are ways around it. And especially when the Super Bowl's it's full of adverts.
Oh, there's so many adverts. Yeah, you would think. That's actually kind of annoying. That's the one time of the year I want to watch adverts. Super Bowl adverts are supposed to be
Yeah.
I never get to see them. But so AEW Dynamite Wednesday it's Wednesday the 2nd, which we won't see until what, 6th. We know that there will be a Cody match. Cody is beating Sammy Guevara. Apparently that's going to open the show. Um, Kenny Omega and the Bucks are in a 6-man tag against Jericho and 2 mystery partners. So, who's feuding with the Bucks? Could be the Lucha Brothers. Yeah, it'll be a heel team. Dark Order. Maybe someone new. Who knows? Fun anyway. Pac and Adam Page. That's a pretty high-profile match. MJF, Brandon Cutler, and Riho versus Nyla Rose for the women's title. Pretty good card. And they have announced that Jon Moxley will be making an appearance. That sounds like a good show.
Yeah, it sounds too bad. Is Moxley still injured?
Who's that, sorry?
Moxley.
Don't know if he's cleared. He must be.
Yeah, he wasn't injured as such, was he? He had infection or something, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm typing. Sorry, you can hear me go clack, 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 clack.
Just going back to what I said before about the schedule, where you might have Thursdays off. You won't. Apparently, NXT UK is moving to Thursdays. So
there you go.
Yeah.
If you're into wrestling, this is up your alley.
I must admit, I haven't watched as much NXT UK as I probably should have done.
No, I haven't either.
You go ahead.
All right, so head-to-head with that AEW show, NXT is throwing on. They're going all out. There's a pre-show with Charlie Caruso, Sam Roberts, and Pat McAfee.
Yes.
That's must-see TV. Then they've got all of their titles, all the title matches: Shayna Baszler, Candice LeRae, Undisputed Era, God, we're all doing it. Undisputed Era versus the Street Profits for the tag title, and Adam Cole defending against Matt Riddle, the NXT title. And Triple H has said there will be limited ad breaks.
Take that.
So you can air that live in
Take
the UK.
that. ITV.
Yeah.
I just hope I know it's a little way off yet, but when the new deal kicks in with BT, they get NXT. Because otherwise, waiting that day, I know it's only a day, but it's just a pain.
Yeah.
All right.
Interesting to do limited ads, though. Obviously, they know people will be flicking over.
Yeah, I would be interested to see, how many people are switching back and forth, like, in between commercials and whatnot,
Yeah.
I want to know what that does for ratings. If this is a ratings war, then how long do you have to watch either show in the 15-minute segment for it to be counted as a view? Can you be counted twice?
I don't know.
Because I always think that when people keep talking about all of those WCW fans that disappeared, because like Raw would do a 7 and WCW do a 3 or whatever, so you'd think there's that, and then Raw kept doing a 7. So he's like, well, where did all these extra fans go? I was like, well, maybe they were just flicking back and forth, and they're actually there the whole time, but now there's not another channel to record them. If that's how it works, I don't know.
And especially these days, the way people have got DVRs and whatnot, they're going to record one and watch the other.
Of course they are, yeah.
So, I think they're starting to include recordings now, aren't they, in the ratings?
They are, but I think because of AEW's deal with TNT, they get money based on the ad revenue. And ads on DVR don't count for as much because obviously people just skip them.
Yeah.
So it's all about the live views there.
This is kind of funny. So CM Punk did kind of an AMA on Twitter, and somebody asked him, "When you next in the UK?" And he replied back saying, "Maybe soon. I think a guy named Kenny is trying to book me." It's kind of funny. I like that. Is there anything else? Sorry, not to cut you off. Is there anything else you guys want to mention?
But apparently Jim Johnson's done some music for ROH.
Oh yeah. For some guy like named POC or something like that. FDC.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems interesting that he would PCO.
PCO?
That's it.
That's Carl Ouellet.
Yeah, he's the
used to be X for a while. He's that old guy. Yeah, Carl Ouellet.
I'm surprised he's not got involved with someone else before now. It's taken a little while to do something.
Yeah, theme it will be revealed at ROH's Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view Friday. Yesterday, actually, September 27th. Yeah. Well, there you go. Interesting that he's working with him.
Although he's still making money off WWE because they're still releasing them uncaged collections. And one was released about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think, and they're under his name. So, I'm guessing he must have some sort of agreement with it. Obviously, his work. One last quick thing. Chris Jericho agrees with you.
Oh, yeah?
He tweeted that Walter is the worst wrestling name ever.
It is! I don't understand this whole, like... You have a guy who looks like the son of Vladimir Kozlov, and he comes out, and he's supposedly a badass. I am not disputing that. But his name is just Walter. Like, that... It doesn't make sense. Like, can't you just give him a better name? If you can give the guy commentating the Raw this coming Monday with, like, away from his actual football name or whatever to relate it to Madden or whatever, can't you just come up with something better than Walter? Like,
at least a surname.
Yeah.
Walter something.
Walter Ass Kicker. Oh my god. Yeah, Jericho's not wrong. It's probably the worst name in wrestling right now.
I'm surprised they've got him on actual NXT. I don't know why they've moved him. Well, I don't think they've actually moved him over, but...
Well, he always said that he didn't want to move to the US, right? He wanted to stay in Europe.
Yeah,
Money talks.
Oh, yeah. Especially now if NXT is going to get main roster money.
Yeah, true.
Now's the time.
And apparently the XFL draft will take place on the 15th and 16th of October.
What does that even mean? Who's going to be drafted?
Okay, which is wants Antonio Brown? He was the guy that used to play for like the Raiders, and they got traded to the Patriots, and then allegedly somebody made like rape allegations towards him, and then the Patriots dumped him.
Oh.
I believe something like that. That's the quick and dirty version from what I can recall.
When's it supposed to start? Was it February?
Sounds about right. Right after the Super Bowl,
like 2020 or whatever.
Yeah.
So. Oh, he used to play for the Steelers. I think I said the Raiders. My bad. Oh no, you did go.
Yeah. Okay. It's fine. I forgive you.
No, I was right. In 2019, he was traded to the Oakland Raiders. There you go. Never mind. Sorry.
No.
Anything else? Anything else?
No. We're going to have a lot to talk about next week.
I think we filled, a little bit over an hour. Not bad.
Everything's going to be shiny new next week.
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe we'll get those WCW viewers back that everybody keeps talking about.
And you know what's going to do it? Pyro and more LEDs.
I actually thought
One last quick one last quick note.
LEDs on the ring
Ballyhoo.
ropes now.
God. What have they done to the Raw logo?
It
by the
looks,
way?
yeah,
It
it's
looks
slumping
such-
like it's got a stroke.
looks like
New one.
someone inflated it. Have you
Here,
not
hold
seen
on.
it? They used it briefly
Yeah.
on Raw itself, hyping the next week.
There's a kind of
Yeah, here,
V-shaped one.
yeah, this is the one.
Yeah, that's it.
Here,
Oh, okay.
there we go. All they do is like use like a fucking deflate or inflate tool in Photoshop there on that. Looks really dumb.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, okay. So they're still using the upside down M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least they put some effort into the SmackDown one. They just like ran the Raw one through like Photoshop or something.
That's a fuck money paying SmackDown.
Actually redesigned. I don't mind that Raw one. I think it looks okay. Other than the upside down.
I never liked the one we've got now. I never liked it. I don't know.
No.
Bit too basic. I like the one we had before that. The sort of
Italic kind of one.
yeah. That was quite cool actually.
So I think that'll do it. Unless there's anything else you guys want to mention. All right.
No.
We'll be back next
We're
week
good.
talking about the draft. Well, not the draft. Sorry, I got the draft on the brain now that you mentioned XFL. We'll be talking about SmackDown and Raw. It's gonna be honestly. I'm looking forward to seeing how many people tune in to hear us like a day after, as opposed to like 4 days after, like on that ITV schedule we're on. So, yeah, we'll be back next week, and also Hell in the Cell, which is not
that's
tomorrow,
next
but
week,
next
isn't
week,
it?
yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Forgot about that.
And we've got 3 matches announced for it. So like
yeah,
we're gonna have to do a
definitely.
lot this week.
So we'll highlight all of that. Till then, have a great weekend. We'll see you then. Good night, everybody.